Binding of Isaacs is every fetishist dream. It's got scat, water sports, girl, and little boys. Oh yeah, daddy. BibleThump is a game about an abused child finding his way into the arms of Jared Fogle. Finding his way to the afterlife? I mean, honestly, I don't know the premise of the game, as Isaac is already dead, and all you do is kill whatever these godforsaken creatures of the underworld are. You can play as a menagerie of little boys in cosplay, starting from good, tank, also good, Jewy glass cannon, shit, literally. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Debatably overpowered. Get brimstone at all costs. Why is this a character? Literally RNG the character. You better hope to God you make no mistakes, and I mean no mistakes. Cause you know it's so totally a brilliant idea to make a character that can die in 1 or 2 hits in a bullet hell game. Who the fuck thought this was a good character? Very much the same as the Lost, except you move slower, which honestly makes him even worse than the Lost. Better hope you get lucky in this fucking thing. Isaac himself is a pretty damn good starting character, especially once you unlock the D6 for him. The D6 basically re-rolls any pedestal item in the room. This can also be used for items in the shop as well. If you know what items to roll and what to keep, it's possible to make Isaac incredibly overpowered. I recommend saving the D6 for passive power-ups and non-activatable items. I don't know if it's me, but every time I re-roll those types of items, I tend to get another activatable item. Maggie, in terms of stats, is a straight upgrade to Isaac. Though Isaac still has an edge with the D6, Maggie is slightly slower than Isaac. However, if you complete the April Fool's challenge, she starts out with the speed up pill, which renders her only downside completely useless. Cain is probably the character I had the least difficult time playing with. Cain has slightly higher damage and more luck than other characters. He also starts out with 1 key, and this is useful because early in the game getting good power-ups is quite essential, as getting good power-ups early very much dictates your performance in the later levels. Also, Cain looks the coolest. Judas is a glass cannon. His playstyle revolves around killing everything in the room before they kill you. Since he only starts out with 1 heart container, unlike other characters, health ups are far more useful for Judas than others. The Book of Belial increases the chance of spawning the angel and devil rooms, which is good because depending on what character you play as, devil and angel rooms offer ridiculously powerful upgrades. Since of Judas's low health, angel rooms are most likely going to be your best bet, especially if you can get an angel room to spawn with either the Holy Mantle or the Body. The Blue Baby is just terrible. The Blue Baby cannot have red heart containers and only have soul or black hearts, which means that any health regeneration or health ups are entirely wasted on Blue Baby, especially how easy you can find soul hearts. His stats are only marginally better than Isaac's, and his activatable item is literally shit. At least the game developers were honest with this one. Eve is just absolutely god-awful. No wonder why she's a cutter. At first, Samson's stats might make it seem he's terrible, but because he has bloodlust, he can be pretty damn powerful. Samson also gets more useful once you unlock Child's Heart for him, which increases the chance of finding red hearts, which allows you to take even more advantage of bloodlust. Like Judas, having higher amounts of health is more beneficial than other stats. The effect of bloodlust lasts for the entire duration of the floor, so when it comes to bosses like Rush, Derillium, or Mega Satan, he can very easily defeat those bosses quickly, guaranteed you have enough health. Since because of this, Samson is one of the more powerful characters in Greed mode, which I'll get to later. Azazel is really goddamn good. Azazel's flight makes it easy for him to avoid projectiles and enemies. He can also get items over gaps and avoid floor traps as well, and any kind of creep on the floor too. Azazel really shines if you can get brimstone, which comes from the devil room. You better your chances at the devil room by killing all the non-heart beggars. If you don't know what brimstone looks like, it looks like this. One tactic I like doing with Azazel is flying over rocks and gaps in the ground. Most non-projectile enemies can't even hit you, and if they do shoot things, you can use the rocks for cover. Lazarus is a playable character. Like I said, Eden is literal RNG. His stats are randomized every time you start a new run with him. Eden has at least one starting passive item and one starting activatable. As a result, you can possibly get Eden to be extremely overpowered right out of the gate, or make him considerably weak. Eden has an odd mechanic unique to him where you can only play as him for as long as you have Eden tokens, and you get Eden tokens by killing Mom's Heart / It Lives depending on how much content you have unlocked. For all intents and purposes, Binding of Isaac is more like a bullet hell game than it is a roguelike. Making a character that can die in one hit or two with the Holy Mantle is absolutely such a galaxy-brained idea that I'm surprised that the person that created this character hasn't solved all the world's problems already. The only redeeming factor to the loss is the rewards for his completion marks are very, very powerful. In particular, the body, for characters like Judas, Cain, and Samson, and the Forgotten, and Godhead. More like, God damn, it's so fucking good! On the topic of completion marks, you get brand new unlocks for beating certain bosses with characters. This is kind of the goal of the game, to get all completion marks with all characters. Some characters have good unlocks like the Lost, and other characters like Lazarus are just sadly inadequate. Just like you. However, in order to unlock Godhead, which is in my opinion one of the most powerful power-ups in the entire game, you have to get all completion marks as the Lost. So good luck, because believe me, you're so totally gonna need it. What do Lilith, Lazarus, Blue Baby, and Eve have all in common? They're all shit. The Keeper is quite similar to the Lost. 2 hits and you die. You cannot get any extra health either, so all health ups are completely useless. You move slower than the Lost and don't have flight, and you can only get health back from coins. You can probably see a pattern with these unlockable characters. Most of them have these stupid ass special mechanics or are just simply terrible. Just terrible. Apollyon is quite similar to Eden, but your stats are not randomized. Instead, the RNG comes from the Void. It's better to have knowledge on what items to get and what items to consume with the Void, or just simply get the item descriptions mod. The one thing I really hate about him is that his character has wings, but he doesn't fly. Fucking false advertisement. The Forgotten is a unique character with an odd playstyle. The Forgotten himself is melee, but the soul can fire projectiles. Both of them have a split health pool, so if any of them has no health left, they both die. The Forgotten also can only have bone hearts. He can get health ups just like any other character, but keep in mind that bone hearts break after you get hit 3 times, which kinda effectively doubles his health when you think about it. The one major problem that I absolutely hate about the Forgotten is that he has a very, very cryptic galaxy-brained method of unlocking him. Refer to the game's wiki on how to unlock him, cause I sure shit ain't going to explain it. The normal game revolves around you killing Isaac, Blue Baby, Mega Satan, the Lamb, It Lives, or Deryllium, depending on how much content you have unlocked. Out of all the bosses in the game, Mega Satan, Hush, Deryllium are the hardest by far, and getting there is just as hard. This is why I emphasize on getting good power-ups early on in the game, as the later floors can become very, very difficult. Unfortunately, there's a good number of power-ups that can either fuck you over like a whore, or just simply do not synergize well because of a passive you already have that might override a power-up you got. See that? Don't take that. And don't take soy milk either. I wholly recommend getting item description mods, especially the game's lackluster descriptions for such items. If you want to go for the completion marks, which is the point of the game, I recommend playing on hard to get the completion marks for both normal and hard. Hard mode really is not that hard, it just simply increases the chances for champion enemies and decreases the chances for red hearts to drop. Also, hard mode increases the chances for curses. Curses of the lost, blind, and unknown are real shit suckers, especially when the floor gets fucking labyrinthian. Beryllium honestly should be saved for last, as he's harder than a Soul Level 1 Dark Souls run. The only way, and I mean the only way on making Beryllium more manageable, is to find a power-up, activatable, or trinket, or even the pill that slows enemies for the entire duration of the room. Otherwise, enjoy getting fucked in all holes. Also, there's challenges which unlock more power-ups, and daily challenges, which is just a simple run with a specific character and you have to kill a certain boss to finish. As far as I know, you don't really get rewarded for daily challenges. Greed mode is a radically different mode from the base game. Greed mode is basically a horde mode, except you're not surviving as long as you can or defending anything. You're supposed to kill things as fast as possible, preferably before the next wave starts. You use the coins from the waves in the shop to get a wide variety of power-ups and other items. If you have characters or power-ups with abilities that can last for the entire duration of the room or even the floor, are essential here. Assassin! At the end, you'll fight Ultra Greed. Depending on your setup, Ultra Greed really isn't that hard, especially if you have Charm of the Vampire, which can heal you for a certain amount of enemies killed. Otherwise, just stack as much speed and health as possible. If you have Afterbirth plus DLC, you can play Greedier. Greedier mode chafes my taint. The difficulty spike from Greed to Greedier is way higher than that of normal to hard. Greedier is the harder, very harder version of Greed, and it certainly is rock diamond hard. You generally get less coins overall, champion enemies spawn far more frequently, and Ultra Greed is ass-blastingly hard. Oh, and you get less time before the next wave starts, so it's very easy to get overwhelmed. People say that Binding of Isaac is a roguelike. I mean, seriously, how can you say that this game is a roguelike and not a bullet hell when you're playing the later levels, let alone bosses like Hush, Mega Satan, Beryllium? The way that I see it, Binding of Isaac is much more of a bullet hell game than it is a roguelike. It might seem like I'm overall negative in this review, but I'm not. I love this franchise, otherwise I wouldn't be spending this much goddamn time with it. One thing I didn't mention was the music. God damn, the music in this game is so fucking good. Shit, you can even get the soundtrack on Steam. And generally, games that offer soundtracks as separate purchases really have some kick-ass soundtracks. And I also really hope they hurry the fuck up with Repentance, as I've been waiting for this fucking thing for almost 2 goddamn years for this fucking thing to come out, especially the fact that anti-birth content is getting added to it, which only makes my pee-pee take off like a SpaceX rocket. Nevertheless, I give this game a Casey Anthony out of 10.